All right, welcome parents, students, and teachers. Today we're going to take a look at how we can control all the settings and options and things we have available to us in Google Meet. So to get to Google Meet, at first we are going to go through our Google Classroom. Get into Google Classroom and we are going to go to the Google Classroom that we want to be in and click that Meet link at the top like we talked about in the previous video. And here you go. This is the first thing I want to show you. You can't create a meeting yourself. Contact your system administrator for more information. All that means is we're trying to join a Google Meet that the teacher is not in yet. So don't panic when you see that. That's actually a great thing. That means that students aren't in there unattended. That means that the teacher will be in there shortly. Hopefully they'll always be there a few minutes ahead of you so you don't run into this. But if you do run into this, it's not a problem. You just either reload or close it out. You'll wait a moment for the teacher to get in there. And when the teacher is in that room, it is going to allow you to get in. So let's hit reload now. And there we go. Because the teacher is now in this room, my camera is starting and it is letting me in to my Google Meet. All right, so now that we are in Google Meet, let's take a look at some of the options and things we have to deal with here. Of course, we have our mute to turn off our microphone, and also we can mute the camera. We can turn off the camera. These are our three dots here to get us into the settings, and these settings are going to help us troubleshoot any kind of problems that we are having with our microphone and our camera. For instance, in my Google Meet here, I want to choose the microphone that I'm using right now, and now you can see those three dots start moving because I've selected the correct microphone. The microphone that I'm speaking into is now the one that Google Meets is trying to use, and it is working correctly. If I have speakers or headphones, whatever, that I'm using to get the sound from, I want to make sure that I am picking the correct ones from here as well. All right, we also have video options. If you have more than one camera to choose from, you want to make sure that you are picking the correct camera here from that video option screen here. And you want to always make sure that your definition is on the 360p standard definition for both of these so that you aren't lagging your system up at all. So again, if we're having any issues with our video and our audio not working, this is where we're going to go to check those out. And we can also test the sound. If we hit the test button here, it plays a little ringtone so we can test our speakers or headphones or whatever and make sure that they are getting the sound correctly. All right, so let's hit join now and jump into Google Meet. All right, so the little cartoon character there is my teacher account. So my teacher, I'm seeing the teacher screen as soon as I log in here. I can click and see me if I want to from my screen, or I can click myself again to get away from myself and get back to the teacher, to viewing the teacher. Let's take a look at some of the other options we have in here. We have the People tab. Okay, the People tab is here, and this shows me all the people that are in the room. This is where the chat is, and as long as chat is enabled, this is where you'll be able to ask questions to the teacher. But keep in mind, sometimes it's hard for the teacher to see the questions in chat, so you might have to politely interrupt and let her know there's questions, him or her, that there's questions available there. We can hit the X to close that out. That just gives us the time. So this is what we've got at the top of our Google Meet screen. On the bottom of our Google Meet screen, we can mouse over down here and we can mute ourselves. We can turn the microphone off and on, the same as we could from that first screen. We can also turn the camera off and on. And of course, the red phone is to hang up and leave the call when the teacher's done and tells you everything's over. You want to go ahead and make sure that you leave the call there. You can turn on closed captions inside Google Meet. So if Google Meet starts picking up words that people are saying, it's going to have captions on there. Once the teacher turns on the closed captions from her end, they're going to be visible on everyone's screen. All right, present now is something that the teacher uses to present to the class. You don't ever want to mess with that. We have our three dots down here, which is going to bring us to the same settings that we looked at before with the audio and the video settings. That's just another place to get those. There's really nothing else in here that you need to worry about as a student. You just want to be able to mute yourself, leave, and maybe turn off your camera if you need to because of what's going on in the background. That is how you use Google Meets.